welcome back. Today we are reviewing the new Sunday Riley the Influencer Clean Long Wear Foundation. I want to see how this is going to hold up on my skin throughout the day, so I will be doing a 10-hour wear test, maybe even 12. We'll see when we get there. Before we get started, I do just want to mention my skin type quick. So I am very oily all over. I do struggle with a couple dry patches over my acne spots sometimes. I have rosacea, sensitive skin, and acne prone skin. So if you guys want to know how this foundation is going to work on my oily skin type, then just keep on watching. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like. You have a nice squeezy tube with a pump on it. I love when foundations have pumps. This foundation was $42 and it has 1.08 fluid ounces, which is just a little bit over the standard foundation amount. They came out with 20 shades. I have the shade 140, which online it's described as light with neutral undertones. I'm just gonna read a little bit about this foundation to give you guys an idea of what it's supposed to be. So it is for normal, oily, or combination skin. It is a clean, long-lasting foundation with medium to full coverage. So it's buildable. It's for anyone with redness, uneven skin tone, and oiliness. It's supposed to have a very clean, natural-looking finish with long-lasting coverage that won't dry out as the day goes on. And it has a satin matte finish. It says it won't ever look cakey. It never cracks or creases. It layers as needed. So that's about all I need to know about it. I haven't tried this yet, so this will also be a first impression for me. And let's just get right into trying it out. So what I'm gonna do is put a primer on half of my face. I'm using the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. I'm just gonna use this to fill in any of my larger pores on my cheeks. And I'm only doing this on half of my face because I want to see how the foundation is gonna work on its own without a primer. Let's go ahead and start with a beauty blender, and I'm just gonna let that primer sink in a little bit, so I'll work on this side first. So I'm just gonna take one pump, dot this around. Ooh, this is gonna be a little bit light on me. We'll just have to even it up with some bronzer. Okay, I zoomed you up so hopefully you can see a little bit better. And I'm just gonna start pouncing this in. So it has pretty light coverage so far. I don't know if I would consider this medium coverage, but we will go ahead and build it up since it did say that it was medium to full and it layers well. Okay, so this is with one pump on half of my face. It did cover up most of my redness, but I am gonna go in with a little bit more and build it up because I still can see the redness on my cheek. I can see my acne down here. But so far I'm liking the finish. It definitely is a satin matte. The only thing that I'm seeing is it looks like it's kind of grabbing a little bit on my texture around my face. It definitely feels very lightweight on the skin too. It does not feel like I put any foundation on, so that's awesome. So I just took almost another full pump and we'll build this up and see how it wants to layer. So it's building up nicely. I think it still looks pretty soft. It doesn't look cakey, and it's not like picking up the foundation where I'm layering it over, which sometimes happens. I still would definitely not consider this full coverage though. I can see my redness still and my acne. So I don't want to go in with any more though because I feel like 2 pumps on half my face is kind of a lot. Okay, so we'll stop there. It looks pretty nice, I think. I do love the finish it has. It doesn't look too matte and dry. I think it still looks pretty healthy and glowy. It layered up nicely. All right, now on the other side, I'm gonna take another full pump and I'm actually gonna use a brush on the side just to see if I like it better applied with a brush. So I'm just taking my Bobbi Brown Full Coverage Face Foundation brush. Oh yeah, this is giving me way more coverage. Yeah, that gave me way more coverage, but I am seeing streaks with the brush, so I'll probably go over this with a beauty blender just to kind of even out those streaks. And also with the brush, it does seem like it's picking up the foundation and moving it around, so I'm just gonna stop using the brush and go back to my beauty blender. Yeah, it looks way better. So that was just with one pump on this side, and like I said before, it did give me a lot more coverage than it with the sponge. I will go in with just a teeny bit more. Okay, Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. I don't want to put any more foundation on my face. I think it looks pretty good right now. Looks nice and fresh and healthy. Definitely looks natural. Feels very lightweight on the skin, which I love. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything right now. Covered up the majority of my redness and my acne. I can still see it, but that's okay. I can fix that with just a little bit of concealer, so that's not a huge problem with me. It also does not dry down. It feels very, very tacky, and also when I touch it, it is transferring off my fingers. So this is a foundation that you are gonna have to set with powder. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing the same routine that I always do just because I know this is what works with my skin and all of my other foundations. So I'm using Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Light, and I'm just gonna be putting a little bit underneath my eyes to brighten up. Center of my forehead, again, to bring the center of the face forward. And then just blending that out with my sponge. So it's blending out nicely over the foundation. It's not picking it up and transferring it or moving it around at all, which is nice. I was a little worried about that just from how much it was transferring onto my fingertips, but I don't seem to be having a problem with it. I'm gonna set that really quick with my Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. I set my entire face with this, and this tends to keep me really matte, so I love the setting powder. And I just take it on my sponge and press it in. That seems to work the best for me with setting my face. I feel like it just locks in my makeup and keeps it there all day. So this is just the way that I always set my makeup. Use a little bit of bronzer. This is the Marc Jacobs Tantric bronzer, hopefully to match my face and my body a little bit more because I'm pretty pasty right now, it looks like. I'm just gonna put this all around the outside of my face. Seems to be going over the foundation pretty nicely. It's not looking patchy at all. Okay, this is helping a ton. I feel like I am matching my body much better now. Do a little bit of contour. I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Kit, and I'm using this lightest shade right here. For blush, I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin Rose Cliff Brush, and I'm just gonna be mixing these two shades together. So I am noticing something as I'm doing makeup. It looks like the foundation came off right here and right here, which is really weird. And it almost looks like it's coming off even more on my pimples right here. Like I could not see these pimples that much before. I'm using a little bit of the Benefit What's Up highlighter just on the high points of my cheeks. Use a little bit of nude eyeliner on my waterline. Just a little bit of mascara. This is the Sephora Outrageous Curl Mascara. And by the way, in case you guys were wondering, I am wearing the style 200K from my lash line. I don't think I've worn these on video yet, if I'm remembering right, but this is what they look like. They look a lot like doll face, but they're a lot shorter, but I love them because they're so flared and they just make my eyes look like super almondy shaped, and I'm obsessed. Use some MAC Nylon in my inner corners. And then I'm going to use some Opal by Becca. This is the Benefit Ready Set Brow Gel. I'm just going to set my brows down quick. And then I'm using the Essence Soft Contour Lip Pencil. This one is in the shade Going Steady. And then for my lip color, this is the Jouer Tawny Rose Lipstick. And last but not least, I'm going to set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Okay, so now that all my makeup's done, I am liking the foundation a lot more. I think it looks very natural. This whole area though, not my favorite thing going on. It just looks textured, bumpy, patchy. There's like 2 circles right here that the foundation just wasn't sticking on for some reason. Everywhere else besides this area right here, I think looks really nice, looks very soft. Again, feels really nice and lightweight on the skin. Hopefully that transferring will stop now that I powdered my face and set everything down. Also, it is starting to crease already in my smile line on this side. Not on this side, I don't really have that big of one on this side, but this one, it definitely is creasing in already. Oh, and by the way, it is 3 o'clock already, wow. So I'll call time there for my check-ins. But yeah, so far, I mean, I'm not loving it. I'm not obsessed with it. It's definitely not my favorite foundation I've ever put on my skin, but it does look really nice and I like the way it feels on my skin. I don't know why this is happening down here because I use the same exact products that I use every single day and that never happens. So I really don't know what is causing that. At first, I kind of thought that it was enhancing my texture a little bit, but I think that my skin is just, I broke out from something that I put on my skin a couple days ago video. So I do have a lot of little bumps like all over my cheeks, which I never really have. So I think that's just what was throwing me off. But when I look up closer, I really don't think it's enhancing my texture. I think my skin looks pretty smooth besides my pimples. Yeah, so I like the way it looks just besides this area and the creasing. But the true test will be to see how long this is gonna hold up on my oily skin. So like I said, it's 3 o'clock. I'll be back in probably about 6 hours to show you guys what the foundation is looking like. And yeah, so I think that's all I have to say for now. So I will see you guys in a couple hours. Okay guys, I'm back home now. I thought I was gonna be home a little bit sooner, but it's already 11:30 at night. It's been a little bit over 8 hours now. So the foundation, I'm not oily really at all, but the foundation is separating. It's transferring a lot. It came off almost completely on my nose. It's creasing and caking up in my chin line. It's caking up a little bit in the sides of my nose. My forehead looks pretty, it looks kind of dry and a little bit cakey. I've seen so much worse with so many other foundations, but this is definitely not something that I will wear again just because it is separating. If I was getting oily in it and that's it, that would be a different story. Then I could just blot it and it'd be fine. But since it is transferring so much and separating, don't think I'll be wearing this again. So normally I like to make it at least 10 hours for my foundation wear test, usually around 12 hours. But since it's already separating and caking up, I mean, it's only gonna get worse from here. So I think I'm just gonna end this video here. It also has been doing this for a while now. The last time I looked in the mirror was probably about 3 hours ago, and it was already starting to separate and do this. So it didn't really last that long, which sucks, but I didn't get oily. I'm hardly oily at all. There's a little bit of a shine. So I'm really sad about this because I love Sunday Riley so much. Sunday Riley has some of my all-time favorite skincare products, but I really hope this video helped you guys out if you guys were looking for buying this foundation. I do have a ton more foundation reviews coming, so stay tuned for those. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.